Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the trees at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfield.
It's the holiday season, and there's no better time to jump into the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Whether you're betting the NFL, getting in on the college football playoff matchups, or checking out the NBA's Christmas slate, FanDuel's got holiday promos and boosts that'll keep every game exciting all month long. From same-game parlays to player props and live in-game betting, FanDuel makes it easy to get closer to the action with fast payouts and an app that's smoother than a Gardner Minshew sidearm throw. And don't forget, every Friday on Chief Concerns, we drop our best 5-leg same-game parlay for the weekend, plus JD's 10 keys to victory, breaking down exactly how the Chiefs can continue to find wins with the remaining games left. So, while you're unwrapping gifts and watching wall-to-wall football, make sure you download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and make every snap, shot, and score count this holiday season. Attention all sports bettors. Big news, Chiefs Kingdom. Sports betting is finally going live in Missouri on December 1st. So we've partnered with bookies.com to bring you all the best sportsbook promos and sign-up offers in one place. Head over to bookies.com/chiefconcerns. The link is in the description below to check out all the offers from the top sports books in your area and pre-register today. You can lock in those bonuses now, even before betting officially starts on December 1st. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm Marcus Dash. Our guy, former Chiefs tight end Jason Noah, will be joining us shortly, and I'm back in the States. All is well, all is good. I'm back here, ready to rock for this Week 16 preview. Obviously, I wish it was under better circumstances. You guys, everything with Mahomes and everything that's going on, and obviously being out of the playoffs, but we're still going to make the best of this episode, make the best of our shows as the season goes on. It's going to be a different kind of Chief Concerns show in 2026, at least the start of the year. We'll have, we did our great draft shows last year, but they'll probably be starting that even earlier. And I think Tage will come on our Monday shows even earlier than before, and we'll do a nice prep of the offseason and draft preview. So, guys, it's going to be a really good upcoming year for the Chief Concerns show, and we're excited to have everybody a part of it. And again, I know, I don't know if you noticed in the FanDuel advertisement there, I didn't mention the line of the game, but the Chiefs are currently a 3.5-point favorite at Tennessee, and that's with Gardner Minshew in there, and that's with pretty much half our team on the injury report this week. But we are the favorites on the road, Tennessee. So, again, that's FanDuel with all lines provided by FanDuel and our sponsor. And, again, all holiday season, they're going to be having promos and all sorts of stuff. So get in on FanDuel and go to the description of our video and download now. It's available in Missouri now as well as many other states. But, yeah, 3.5-point favorites in Tennessee this week. I don't know. I haven't really done research on my bets for this upcoming Friday show. I'm still like not in mourning, but yeah, I'm still kind of in mourning with the whole Mahomes situation. Haven't really come to terms that we won't have him for the next 3 weeks, which is, sad. I know everyone's kind of going through the same thing, but nonetheless, tonight's going to be a great show. We're going to talk about, the mindset, or do we tank for the next 3 games? What are the players thinking? JD can kind of talk about what players are thinking during kind of situations like this, because during his career, there were many seasons where there's teams were eliminated earlier on the process, and what are you playing for at that point, right? This is an interesting situation. We'll talk about that as well. And then, of course, Travis Kelce with the whole not saying we would talk about the team today. So maybe lending us a hand as to what's going on in his head. Is he going to come back? Is he not coming back? Is he leaning another way? So we'll talk about that as well. And then, of course, we're going to open up the lines because we feel like Chief Concerns family, we feel like you guys have some stuff to say, have some vetting to do about what is going on in Kansas City and with our team. So we're going to post a link in the chat. So if you are a subscriber, if you are in the chat tonight, I know a lot of people do membership-only stuff where they do Zoom calls. But now, on this show, we give it to you guys free. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel, and we put that in the chat, and you guys join. So that's the beauty about being part of this channel and this community. All you got to do is subscribe, and you can be part of it, all the Zooms and being involved and me and talking to me and JD. We're not doing this membership, paying a fee. And I'm not knocking people who do that, but we're all about opening up the lines for you guys to come on and talk to us without being charged a fee. That we're completely free here. All you got to do is subscribe, really. So pretty easy. So, yeah, that's our episode tonight. Should be a good one. And, yeah, let's get to see who is in the chat. Oh, yeah, and as well, I know I've been making a mention of this. We haven't had anybody give us any more reviews on the Apple Podcast. But Apple Podcast, guys, if you want a free giveaway, all you got to do is go to Apple Podcast, give us a review, and put your channel, your handle name for your YouTube channel, and we will we'll get you a gift, and that's a giveaway from our guy Corey, the Artist Chief, as well as the Chief Concerns headband. We will send him to you guys. We already have 3 lucky contestants winners: Will, Hippie Cypriot, and Maria so far. So if you want in, to do, and the link for that is also in the description of this video as well. So let's see who is in the chat tonight. I know when JD comes in here, he'll be doing all that stuff. So yeah. Chiefs fan 1969, best Chiefs show on the net, and it's all free. Awesome, and thank you. Appreciate you, buddy. I've talked to many different content creators, and they always say, "Oh, do you have a membership fee?" And I'm like, or a membership, whatever. I'm like, nah. I mean, I get it, but and I get it, but at the same time, it's no. I'm like, we're coming on this show, and we're giving you guys what we got to give you, So and that's it. I know how people are very, they hold their subscription with it's their wallet, right? They hold it to their chest, and I get it. We want to earn a subscription and being a part of our channel. So why am I going to charge you guys for that? No, I just want you guys to get our stuff, hear us out. If you like us, you like it. If you don't like us, you dog my looks or something about my hair or something like that. But if not, you don't have to pay. I mean, at the bottom line, that's what it is. You don't have to pay. I mean, sometimes you gotta have to sit through ads and my ad reads or just the ads that come on YouTube. That's bad enough. I'm not gonna charge on top of that. So no membership fees in Chief Concerns. That's how we rock. DJ Jazzy One, what's up, buddy? Ready to get this started? Oh yeah, baby, we are here, and I think I started I started about on time. Well, not. It was 5 minutes late, but it's my mom's birthday today, so I was with my mom earlier. Turning 73. 73 years old. Mama is doing well. She's doing well. So, yeah, we're a lot of December birthdays in the Dash family. I have my birthday on the 9th. One of my brothers has his on the 13th, and then my mom has it on the 17th. And then my brother's wife, Tasia's wife, actually, Vonda, she's a December 18th birthday. So we got a lot of December birthdays. We got the December birthdays locked down. So we are Team Sag all the way. So Team Sagittarius all the way, baby. I'm not really a birth sign guy, so I don't really dig into that stuff, but I just know what mine is. So, yeah, Team Sag all the way, baby. Andre Chenault, what's going on? Good evening to you. Yes, Chief Concern fan, we are all here for. Yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be a good show. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say, and later on we open up the phone lines for you guys to come in and hop in and tell us what what your frustrations are, how you're thinking about the off season ahead, and anything. And again, guys, off season is going to be a long off season for us. So we're going to have a lot of shows to talk about what we need to be doing, what we should be doing. But while we have Chiefs football on, we're going to talk about the weeks that what's going on as of right now. And this week, we're playing the Titans. Yeah, it may not be a lot about Titans talk because who cares about the Titans and the Chiefs right now as far as this game in particular. But more about what are the players playing for, what does the front office want, kind of stuff like that. So DJ Jazzy, as good as it gets for number 15 Mahomes, considering 2 knee ligament tears and through 4 stringers will get to play and showcase themselves this last month. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of the rooks play. That's a good thing. There she is, Hippie Cypriot, our first winner of the giveaway contest of the December month. I think it was December or November when she won. But Hippie, again, I'll be getting that out to you probably around sometime in January, and Will and Maria and whoever else wins coming up here. We'll be getting that out to you. So appreciate you, Hippie. Joey, have the Chiefs put the success of offense too much on Mahomes instead of getting playmakers? That could be successful no matter who's quarterback. 100%. I will say this, though, and this is something that's interesting about this game this coming weekend, right? Because you don't have Mahomes. You have Gardner Minshew. We're probably going to see the most balanced game plan attack that we've seen all season long in this game this week. And watch, because Gardner Minshew's playing quarterback, right? So you're going to see a more of a normal offense being called. And I'm not saying Andy Reid's offense is not normal. I'm just saying you're going to see more of a balanced approach to this game, something that we just wanted. And I guarantee we win this game because of that, because nothing makes sense. But we're going to win this game because of a balanced approach this week. I 100% can almost guarantee it. Charles Barkley style. I guarantee it. Okay? I really do think that's going to happen this week, and it's going to make no sense. But, yeah, we're going to see Kareem Hunt and Pacheco run for 17 carries each, and maybe Gardner Minshew has like 30 passing attempts. I mean, that's what I think is going to happen this week. It's going to make no sense either. So, DJ Jazz, what's going on, buddy? Sasha, what's up to the most savvy sports fans on the planet? Hey, hey, I agree. I agree with that. It's a dang good fan base on this Chief Concerns channel. Linda Hunter, what is going on, Linda? Hope you're doing well. About time. What's going on, bud? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope the wife is doing well as well. All right, who else is in here? Man, you guys are fantastic. DJ Jazzy, what's up, my man? Ready to dash. I'm ready to. You said the word, baby. Ready to go. Demetrio Spence, what's up, buddy? Andre Chanel Mahomes has been the most talked across the league. Yeah. And honestly, too, like, it's going to be very interesting to see this playoffs this year without Mahomes in it and potentially without Lamar in it. It's going to be a very interesting playoffs. I'm very curious to see what the ratings are for this playoffs, because if you have a lot of guys like Lamar and Mahomes out, it's going to be interesting. To say the least, it's going to be interesting. I mean, the NFL is going to try their hardest to get a Los Angeles team in there, just so they can talk about Stafford, Devontae Adams, Puka. But even those aren't really sexy names, right? But yeah, it's going to be interesting playoffs for sure. No Burrow, no Mahomes, no Lamar. It's going to be weird for sure. Although we kind of gotten used to Burrow being out of the playoffs at this point. Sorry, any Bengals fans that are watching. DJ Jazzy, Minshew will be fine with the receivers with the week of practice and lowly Tennessee as the opponent. For sure. And again, I do think we're going to see a balanced attack this week, and that's going to help out a backup quarterback and help out a banked up offensive line. I just wish we had a more of a balanced attack with our starting quarterback. But nonetheless, Andre Chanel, hey, Marcus, I'm glad you made it back safe. I appreciate you, Andre. I did make it back. It was great. Yesterday I landed at like 4:40. Took me about an hour, 45 to 50 minutes from the Uber back home. And then I had the roundtable show, which I don't know if you guys saw that, but I was on the roundtable show last night, just talking about the Mahomes injury. Not bad. Not bad. A lot of Chargers fans in there talking smack, Broncos fans talking smack as well. So, of course, go figure. But I will say most people in the chat last night were respectful as far as, talking about Mahomes. I think I saw a lot of people in the chat pretty much to say like they weren't happy about Mahomes getting hurt. They were happy that the Chiefs were out of the playoffs, but not in the case of Mahomes getting hurt. And again, and I said this too, is like Mahomes could have stayed healthy in that game, and we probably weren't winning that game. So we were going to be eliminated in the playoffs, or eliminated from the playoffs regardless if he stayed in that game or not. But it was nice to see AFC West rival fans not be happy about and not dance on our grave because Mahomes got hurt. Because I saw a lot of that disgusting, repugnant behavior by a lot of fan bases. I want to say Bills fans might have been Bills were probably the worst. I saw some Broncos fans are pretty bad too. But again, I'm not gonna say a whole fan base is bad because of a few bad eggs. There's people like that in our fan base. We know it. There's people like that in every fan base. So it is what it is. And I'll say Raiders fans too have been pretty solid about the whole thing. And they have a bad reputation as well. But DeMarcus Hayes, what's going on, buddy? Hope you're doing well, man. Chiefs fan, 1969. You're my guy, buddy. You are my guy. Hi, Marcus. Why our names aren't up like before? I have no idea. I don't know. I think it's a YouTube thing or a StreamYard thing. I have no idea. That's weird. I mean, I don't know if our other channels doing the same thing, because I have no control over that. That is what it is. I have no control over what is shown, what names are shown. I think that's just your handle. So I think if you go to YouTube and just change your handle name, I think you'll be able to to mess with that because I'm pretty sure that the @ part, that's what your handle is. So if you go to your profile and change it, it'll reflect whatever that is. It's not your display name, it's your handle name. I think that's what it's going by. I'm done, my guy, buddy. I hope you're doing well, man. I won 5 pieces from Corey. Can tell you it's awesome stuff. About time. Didn't you win last year? I'm pretty sure I sent you one last year, buddy. DJ Jazzy won. Happy birthday, Mrs. Mama Dash. I appreciate you, DJ Jazzy. Appreciate you, buddy. I will let her know. She's not an avid watcher of the channel, but I'll definitely let her know about it. Just don't want Russell Wilson brought in as a backup. I honestly think, I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the offseason, but you got Marcus Mariota out there. You got guys like Jameis Winston out there. Hey, and who knows? Gardner Minshew might tear it up, and maybe he becomes the backup for next year as well. So we'll see. A lot to be seen. But again, these are going to be a lot of offseason conversations, guys. And here we go. Nonetheless, we're going to bring our guy in, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn, joining us now. Hey, there he is.
What's up, my brother? How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, man. Doing okay. Yeah. What are we talking and discussing tonight?
Oh, tonight we got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight. We have a lot of people in the chat already, but tonight I mentioned to our chat earlier before you came on, JD. We have 2 topics we're going to get to fast, and we're going to just open up the phone lines and let our Chiefs concerns fans vent, ask us some questions, whatever they're feeling right now. Because there's a lot of I think a lot of people just need to clear the air on themselves. I feel a lot of people are just kind of distraught about the way things happened this season and the way things happened last weekend. Obviously, seeing Mahomes go down, it has a lot of Chief fans kind of, suffering in a way. I've already seen plenty of Chief fans say they're done with football for the year. They're not going to watch any more Chiefs content. I've seen it on Twitter, and I think it's hilarious. But they're done with Chiefs content for the year, which tells me if you are a person who's like just done with Chiefs content just because Mahomes is out, this tells me that you're just not a Chief fan. You were just riding for the three-peat. That's what you were. If you're just done with Chiefs content because Mahomes is out, then you're just scrapping on everybody else who's part of that run. So I think I get it that you're upset that Mahomes is hurt. But to say I'm done with Chiefs football till April, till the draft is nuts to talk.
What's up, Andrea, DJ, Jazzy? Well, I'll say this. I think it boils down to actually what content you are actually ingesting. That might be part of it. And so some of the content that people may not like or feel like is necessary could be maybe us that have a positive spin. And if it's just running these guys down on what they didn't do, and of course, if it's all negative, which you do have content creators out there that are like that. I see radio guys say the same thing. That's very critical of, the coaching staff and the players. And not saying that, some criticism is not valid, because it is. But then there's I don't like ones that really run down like the real true negativity, like the negative ones. That's really why I didn't really get down with Skip Bayless and all them guys. I just didn't. And then sometimes certain guys just who feel it's necessary to scream at the void and, oh my gosh, it is so terrible. I knew this. And it's just stop lying. You didn't know any of this was going to happen like it did. I don't think none of us did. Now, you could probably say, okay, I seen the train wreck coming because of things we didn't make any moves, right? Like Tay says, everybody wants to be right in their assessment, okay? I wanted to be right that we was going back to the Super Bowl. And I believed that before the season started. And I didn't even lose hope until we were out of it. Like I said, I wasn't going to lose any hope until we were finally out of the playoff race. So for me, I am a true Chiefs fan through and through. I played the game. I played with the Chiefs. I bleed red. I do. That's part of who I am. I'm a Chiefs player. I still got loyalties in Philadelphia. Those are the 2 teams I cut my teeth with. But I'm a football fan. Not only that, and I coached the game, and I know I have personal relationships with some of the guys that's there. I know Andy. I know the training staff. I know a lot of those guys that are in the building. So for me,
and we've developed relationships with people and the players on the team too. Mike's a friend, Nazi's a friend.
Absolutely, yeah, a lot of guys. And so for me, I don't even take any personal shots on guys because we just that's not who we are. We're not that. But we will be saying, hey, like there's got to be better technique, or we could have done much better job to have a better outcome. But I think sometimes when people are saying that, I don't want to do the content and all that, hey, maybe this is done. Maybe they've done of it too. We have been on everybody's lips in the Super Bowl for the past 5 of the 6 years, Marcus. You know what I mean? People are tired of us. They are. They're tired of Kansas City content. And I see somebody saying like, well, what are y'all going to do now? Y'all content creators, Kansas City fans, because now the dynasty's over. That means your channel and everything is over too. I'm just like, who? Why? Who says that?
The narrative. I mean, the thing is, it's like, sure, did the Chiefs? It was during COVID, right? So, like, honestly, like, I don't know. I don't know if we would have ever started this channel if COVID didn't exist, right? Had nothing to do with Dynasty. It was more like the Chiefs brought us together. I mean, and we started the channel not because we were on Dynasty. At that point, we only won one, so it was like, oh, okay, we won a Super Bowl. It's it's COVID. Let's talk about football, and like, it's football. It's a constant evolution. It's a constant evolving story, and this offseason, it's not going to match last year's offseason. Our offseason this year and pre-draft talk and offseason talk and acquisition talk, that's going to start earlier than we have in the past, right? Because that's like mid-February, early March we usually talk about stuff. That's going to start mid-January, early February this year, right? So like every year is different. Narrative changes, and that's the beauty about sports in general. It's not the same every year. Every year is different, and the evolution, the narrative, the novelty just changes every year.
And it's going to be a good thing for us because we haven't been in this position for a long time. We just haven't, right? We've been at the top of the mountaintop every single year. So now we're actually going to be, getting a draft pick early on or mid-round, whatever it is. And that's going to be different for us. Not to mention, like Andy said, whoever's here is here, right? So that means there's going to be some changes. There's going to be some personnel changes. There's going to be, I'm sure, maybe on the staff changes. There's going to be scheme changes. It's going to be a lot of different changes, right? It ain't going to be burning everything down, but you're going to salvage the things that you need, that do work, okay? And Andy and those guys do a great job, obviously, in building championship teams, very good teams. We've seen that in his history. We have. And I think what people have seen is, when we was in Philadelphia, all of a sudden the wheels came off. It's not the things that was happening in Philly toward the end of his career, right? The unfortunate things with his family and stuff. Like those are things that definitely does something to a person. But here's the thing: here in Kansas City, hey, shoot, he's gone on this win streak, just blowing teams out of the water, going to Super Bowls, winning 3 of them, going to 5 of them. Like that's a huge deal. We have never seen anything like that. Well, shoot, in football, in the NFL, the Chiefs have done something no other team has done. They went to 5 Super Bowls, 5 in 6 years, and so won 3 of them. That is the glorious time. So there's going to be a lot of people to say a lot of different things. I understand it. We get it. But hey, what we here for? We're here for the stories. We're here for, like you said, changing up narratives, things that surrounding it. You might want to go and look at the housewives or whatever, or whatever. They got so many housewives and stuff out here. I don't listen to any of that. I don't look at any of those things. But for me, this is home for me. I love talking about these things because I only just talk about the Chiefs now, and I talk about the Chiefs back then when I played, but also too I talk about my family and all those other things out here that everybody's being affected by. So this is therapeutic. This is good stuff for me. So,
and plus, and not that I'm happy with the way the season went, but like like we said, things change, right? So like this year's gonna be entirely just like it is for the team and how Brett Veach attacks us all season. It's gonna be different for us. I mean, I'm kind of excited because we've never had to do a pretty much get in the thick of things as far as looking at top 15 talent, right? And the last time we picked this early without trading up with the Mahomes when we traded up to like number 10, I believe it was. But before that, Marcus Peters, number 18 in 2015 was the last like early pick. I mean, so like this is a totally different thing for us, and it's gonna be fun to kind of look at the free agents. Like because there's gonna be major changes, so we're gonna be looking at guys we can go and get. And in the past, so the last few years, it's like, but it's about retaining the guys so we can keep this nucleus together to continue to win. Now it's a little bit different, right? It's like, okay, we need to pick and choose who to go after, who to pay, who to not pay, who to go get in the free agency. So it's gonna be really fun because it's gonna be kind of how we go forward here, and everyone's gonna have their own opinion on it. I mean, like you guys don't know this, but Tasia and JD yesterday going at it already in text about what to do in the offseason. So I mean, that's just a taste of what we're gonna be able to see on the show, you know?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. And I hope really that tonight, this conversation, I want to get into some of this too, okay? And I think that people need the meat of what's going on out here and with this team and, some of the opinions that's out here that people are talking about. I want to speak about a few of those things tonight. I hope that's the direction we're going to go, right? I know you have some questions for me, but in my mind, some of the things I've just been seeing on Twitter, people have different opinions about certain things. And I kind of want to talk about a few of those. And look, and I wish I had enough time to really get into breaking some of this film down like I want to. Certain films that compared to other teams, how things look, like how offense looks to other teams in a lot of different ways. And I wish I had that time to do it because I see like, oh my gosh, this is such a great point. I could show some of these things up here, right? Because some of these narratives that's being created, we can absolutely dismantle. Like the one kid that had the film about, running our, the offense, a certain scheme or over in corner concept. And I'm like, these are 4 places successful. Like, I don't think people realize what being open is in the NFL. Like I said, this is not college. This is not high school. Like, you're not going to get a guy that's just open 10 to 15 yards. If it is, it's a busted coverage. Like, somebody's not supposed to be there, right? Like, somebody's supposed to be covering that area or somebody's supposed to be covering that man for that guy not to be open or for him to be open 10 or 15 yards. That should just never happen unless that guy or DB is running around and he falls down, right? Things of that nature. Other than that, man, having to step on a guy, that's open. That's open. So sometimes I don't know if people quite understand and comprehend what open means or man and whatnot. But there's just a lot, Marcus. There's a lot there. But I hope we get to talk about some of that tonight, okay? And we get to hear from you all. We want to hear y'all come out here and talk about it too. So I think we'll open up the airways, man. If you come on, we'll give you a quick 3 to 5 minutes. You speak your piece. We'll talk about it real quick, and then we'll move. So
let's do it. All right. So JD, talk about the different narratives and stuff that's going on out there in the ether.
Yes, sir.
And I'm kind of I don't know if you saw the picture, the graphic that I posted on our Twitter account today and our Instagram, but it's the idea of tanking, JD. And I know I'm a 76ers fan, so I know all about tanking and how that is in the NBA. But JD, it's a unique perspective, right? Because most times when teams don't tank in the NFL, we don't see it usually in the NFL because those teams are those either coaches or front office are on the hot seat, so they don't want to tank because they need to win. They need to win as many games as possible to build up that resume.
Yes.
But we're in a situation where we have Andy Reid, Brett Veach. Those guys have very safe jobs. And they're in a position right now where Mahomes is out for the rest of the year, 3 games left, where and I don't know if you saw the injury report today, because the whole thing of tanking didn't really come to my head until I saw this injury report today. And like everyone's on that thing. Like everybody is on that thing. And it's like, and I get it with a lot of injuries at the end of the season. That's how it is.
It's usually like that. Yeah. But go ahead.
But like the question comes to mind is what is, from a player's point of view, right? Because I think we've talked about this, but like, how does Andy Reid, because he's going to be here next year, and usually when a guy's when a team's losing, he's like, okay, I might not be here next year, so I'm going to try to win as another game as possible. Andy Reid will be here next year, but we're talking about potentially getting a better draft pick from the front office point of view, Andy Reid's potentially point of view. How does Andy Reid kind of thread the needle here with this, with trying not to lose a locker room that he currently has? He has 3 more weeks left, and some of the young guys who are in the locker room now but also try to see the young guys get some playing time while, not trying to lose, but, not putting our fourth or not, I don't want to say best effort, but like putting maybe guys like, I don't know, see Jalen Royals in the game, for example, pulling out some of these other guys, just getting the guys who are kind of green out there more reps. And obviously if you do that, you might lose because you're playing guys who are kind of fresh and new and, have not played the game yet this year. How does a coach kind of thread that needle? And also, too, from a player's point of view, like, you were a veteran and you played in games at the end of the season which were not meaningless as far as making playoffs, but as far for you and your check and film, it's not meaningless because you're still trying to win. How do teams and organizations kind of go through that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Michael Kidder said it best. Champions don't take a season. They don't do that. It's not in our DNA to do it. I don't remember. You remember a couple of years ago when Brian Flores was at Miami, and I think upper management that them wanted him to start taking the season. Brian Flores was like, we ain't doing that. I'm not going to play the guys you want us to play because you want to take a season and try to get a higher draft pick. So we're talking about a guy that understands being from a championship team, being part of that pedigree up there with the New England Patriots. He came down as head coach. You cannot let me go down and take a season just because you want a better draft pick in a position. Not going to do it. And I'm not going to go in and speak to these guys in any type of way and say that to them. Who am I as a coach for that to happen? There is no way who guys who come out here physically put their lives on the line every single day when they're out there at practice. And I'm telling you, hey, guess what? We're not going to try to win as many games because we want a higher draft pick. You talking about abandoning a team and immediately you will have a mutiny on your hands. And the guys will come out there and they would immediately say, I'm not about this. We are not about taking a team or taking a season. We out here for pride. We out here to play to win. That's what we're here to do. And so having that conversation, I don't think is even worth it to guys. I mean, guys ain't even going to go for it. And he's not going to go for something like that. You guys are not going to do that. That's not who we are. We're just not. We're just not built that way. NBA is totally different. Look, NFL is much tougher than NBA, okay? We understand now how the NBA is and how it works. It was different when Jordan was in there. He never did have missing games. They talk about that now, how now, guys are, with
load management,
right? Jordan, those guys didn't do that. None of them, Kareem and all that doing my time, them guys wasn't doing that. They was playing. You know why was it playing, Marcus? It was for bragging rights. It was for pride. That's what they were doing.
And there was no guarantee money back then.
And no guarantee money. And so you get paid a whole lot of money to come in and play the game. And I said this, how does that look when kids come to a game and parents and fans will spend a whole lot of money to come watch a guy play and you decide you're not going to play this guy for 2 weeks? No management. He's sitting on the bench eating popcorn, yelling at all these other guys, tee-heeing on the side. That's not a good look. It's not a good look, man. It's shameful, to be honest with me. It is. Now, how guys want to operate in NBA and stuff like that, that's fine. But here in the NFL, we're not about that. I'm sorry. We're just not. You can't tell a guy to go and take a dive. I don't think dudes are doing that. I know they're not doing it. So you want me to go out there and get punched in the mouth? Okay. Yeah, this ain't WWE. This ain't that, the boxing where everything's just fixed. And all these narratives that games are fixed, and it's not like that at all. Nobody's writing a script. They're not. So.
Well, I guess for me, and what I'm seeing from a lot of fans is that to tank, it's not to say go out there and lose purposely, but if Andy and Veach have an idea of, hey, I want to see a lot of these young guys get in the game and play, right? So let's say that means Omena, who's losing more snaps, to a guy like Ashton Gelati, or I think they called up Zach Pickens, the defensive tackle that we got in the offseason or during training camp. Mm-hmm. And he's on the active roster now. Maybe seeing a guy like Zach Pickens taking more of reps from Tillery or whatever. Seeing Royals getting more reps from, say, Worthy or Rashee Rice. Jake Brindstole activated today on a 21-day window. he was a full practice participant. Jake Bristol getting reps over Noah Gray or, just spelling Robert Tonyan. I mean, like, not tanking, but you're putting guys in there, these young guys. Hey, I want to get a look at these guys these next 3 games because, I guess it's not purposely trying to lose, but you're putting guys in there who have not seen the field of action at all this season.
Now, that might be a better approach. You might, hey, look, we're going to give him a few reps. Like, we need you. It might be a different conversation. Like, hey, man, we need, but, guys, all guys want to play. Every guy out there wants to play. I don't know any guy who doesn't want to play will say, okay, cool, I'm just going to chill back. Because if that was me and I see somebody like, yeah, man, I'm just going to chill for the rest of the season, my eyes would cut straight through that joker. It would. And not just only me. I'm sure a whole lot of dudes would be too. Seriously. Like I said, we're not about taking a dive. Now, if you saying, okay, like, look, I want you coming in, but we might give this guy, a younger guy, some reps just to see what he can do. Hey, I ain't got no problem with that. But not with the integrity of the team. We're not going to take down the quality of what we're putting out there, to appease a young guy. If he's just not ready, he's not going to get it. We're just not going to do things like that, right? You just might put yourself in a worse position by doing those things. And I look at it like this, right? When we didn't play our starters, most of the guys against Denver last year in the playoffs, looked bad. I thought we might have a chance because guys are going to go get in and play. Because I'm like, look, they've been there. They've seen what practice looks like. They know what the standard is. They know how to play against this. And what we seen was we got our heads beat in. They didn't rest anybody. We rested guys, and we seen the results of it. So that hurts team morale. It does. It does something to a team. So even if you're sitting there saying, well, look, let's get ready for next year and off season and all those different things, what psychologically does it do to those guys who feel that all of a sudden we just not bought in everywhere with the coaching staff and everybody else up here too? That might be devastating more so than anything else. The guys actually getting hurt physically. So I think like I said, what I'm saying is you can do some of that, bring a guy in, let him get a little bit of experience, but it might just be a few plays. Shoot, what you're hoping for is you get in the lead, maybe against a Tennessee team like this, go up about 2 or 3 touchdowns, now bring in the Jake Bringenstool, maybe a Royals come in for a couple of plays on a couple of guys, right? Worthy's being kind of hurt a little bit, maybe give him a spell. Hollywood Brown, I don't know what the situation with him is. Is he back now or what?
I don't know. I don't know if I saw it. I don't know if I saw an update on Hollywood Brown.
Okay, so that might be something there, but Thornton and all those guys got to get in there and go play. But Jalen Royals, I think he's a guy that we thought during training camp was going to get some time anyway. So,
he was a full practice participant today.
Okay, so yeah. So with that being said, there's a lot of different conversations. I heard somebody talking about Issa Pole, and they was saying, well, I don't really trust Andy Reid and those guys' evaluation because here we had Wanya Morris coming in, and then Issa Pole comes in and he does a good job, not having any type of practice. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, Issa just came back, but he's had practice. We've had him on the team before, before then. So he's had practice. It's not like he was just going against chopped liver. He's going to get your number 1 defense. So when you have practice squad guys, they're to go against your number 1 defense. That's what it is. So it's not like he was just going against a dummy. He's going against, Menahu or Kalafkis and all those different things. That's what he's going to be doing to get himself prepared. Those guys are just going there, same thing in practice. You're not going out there to just take a dive. You're trying to get better. You're working on your craft too because you want to play. You're trying to show the coaches what you can do. So thinking that coaches don't do a full evaluation of who players are, it's just that's ridiculous and silly to even say that.
I think the Issa Pole that I've seen in some of our on Twitter and also on our comments on YouTube, it was more along the lines of Issa Pole didn't make our team, went to the Jets, they came back to us and looked better than Wanya ever did. What are we evaluating? How are our GM and scouting and letting a guy like that leave our building in the first place, kind of thing. I think that's what most people are questioning is like, how did we let that guy leave in the first place if he looked as good as he has in the past few weeks?
We didn't know what we didn't know what he was going to look like. He might have been looking terrible in practice. We don't know that. So we're sitting there making this assessment. You would think coaches don't know what's going on with a guy? When he was forced to play, and then he used to, like, you know, what's that, the Super Saiyan, what they talking about all of a sudden, he unlocks something, and he's like, okay, now I'm here to play, right? He shows up, and you didn't know you were going to get this out of this guy. He was like, man, this dude's never showed up before like this in practice or when he's one-on-ones. But now he is because he's forced to do it. And so sometimes you find something. Hey, great. That's awesome. We brought him back because we knew he was a project, but we knew he had some value. We just thought that the guy that was in front of him was better. You know, and so sometimes you find that. Sometimes you find a diamond in the rough. But that's why we got him here in the first place, right? You know, he said he went to the Jets. Why the Jets release him?
Yeah, Jets fans are pretty pissed off about that as well.
Yeah, but Eason didn't come in and play perfect. I'm going to talk about that too. So is he a starting left tackle in this league? Is he better than Josh? No. This guy is better than him. He needs to get better. He needs to get stronger. There's things he needs to do because that's where it has to be. Okay. And he's gonna get there. He's gonna get better. That's the thing about it. Like, you see his potential. And so his having the ceiling is higher than a lot of other people. I mean, having 6'7", man, you can't coach that. That's something that you have. A lot of people just don't have, period. Just the size alone going to get y'all down the field. Now he's showing his feet. Now it's about him getting stronger, him doing a great job like he has did in the past couple of weeks. Okay. Shoot, that's going to give him a look. So.
Jetty, I guess just from your, because I'm not saying they're trying to lose, right? But like, let's say, right, everyone knows we're eliminated. You guys on the team knows we're eliminated. Mahomes is done, but now we're starting to see the elevation, activation of Brindle, for example. Mm-hmm. And while they may not be trying to lose, but as a player, like, you know, you're a veteran and you see this young buck, it's like, oh, he's just off the IR. He's going to play this week. He might take some reps from you. Do you kind of see that as like, oh, okay, we are waving the white flag? This is kind of the white flag for the season that they want to get these young guys reps now? Does that kind of? I was curious, like, because does that indicate to you like, oh, okay, they're trying to see these young guys now? It's kind of like that's what they're going to use these last 3 games for, kind of deal.
These last 3 games, Marcus, they're going to try to win. Okay, they're not waving the white flag. They're trying to win these games. That's what they want to do. You're 6-7. And you still got Tennessee, the Broncos, and the Raiders. And guys could get hurt. I think DJ Jazzy said the same thing. You play half tail, you're going to get hurt. That's what happens. If guys are not serious and you know, if I feel as a player that you're waving a white flag, I can't play like that. I can't. That'll piss me off more than anything coming into work. Believe in this. So.
Well, I'm not saying guys are going to play half-assed. I'm just saying, like, if you know that, hey, like, I'm gonna be taking reps, someone's gonna be taking reps from me who hasn't played all year long, and he's green, and we don't know what he's capable of. If he comes in the game taking reps from me, and I've been starting pretty much all year, like, do I kind of pretty much know, like, oh, they be it Andy, be it the front office, they want to, you know, they're not really serious about winning these games. It's more about seeing these guys try to just get playing time and see what they got in the guys for the next year.
You can do that, but like I said, I'd be shocked if they did that. I would.
So you'd be shocked if Bristol came in and took reps from Tynan or Noah Graves, say. Yeah, if he just started or come and get a couple reps in to see what he can do, sure. Yeah, I'm not. They took like five to 8 snaps. Yeah, I ain't opposed to that. But you talking about starting the game, and here's Brindle running in as a starting tight end. I'm like, no, that's starting tight end. No, I was saying getting reps throughout the game. Yeah, shoot. No, I ain't. Hey, man, if you feel like you have a chance with this guy and he plays to the ability, you know, yes. But you can't just throw any old Joe out there and say, hey, man, we want this guy right here to get reps. He's a free agent, and we're going to see what he can do. Some guys are like, hey, man, he's not ready, coach. And as a coach, I'm like, no, we're not doing that. I would stand on the table like, no, coach, he's not ready. He's not. Well, we just want to see what he can do. Well, you can do it, but I'm going to tell you right now, this guy right here is not ready. And I'm not saying about anybody. I'm just saying, right, you got to be realistic where guys are.
in their development. And so what I do see is there is a talent drop off when you have certain guys out there. It's very apparent that you see
natural.
Yeah. So ain't no sense having 9 or 10 guys who's great in there. Then you have 2 dudes who don't deserve to be in there. They're getting beat left to right. What's the other 9 to 10 doing? You know what I'm saying? I've been looking at the coach like, yo, man, what are we doing? What are we doing right now? So, but some guys you may not have a question about him at all. Jake Bringerstool is a very talented tight end.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I guess because it's a unique situation in the sense, because when I hear people talk about the tanking, it is a unique situation in the sense that, like, usually coaches in this spot, like I know you said that you use the Dolphins as an example, but usually coaches in the spot are usually like they're fearing for their own jobs. Front office is usually fearing for their own jobs. And for the most part, Brett Veach and Andy Reid, they're pretty safe in those positions. As safe as anybody can get. I know there's some people out there who want them fired, but they're safe guys. So for those people who want Andy Reid and Brett Veach fired, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. But they're safe in the sense that, like, oh, okay, well, that we can be experimental if we want to be. I'm not saying they are going to do that. I'm just saying to some of these fans' point who want us to tank, they can be experimental with this because they are safe in that position, and most coaches in the NFL aren't safe. They need any win they can get to make sure their resume is still like intact as far as, being close to 500 as possible.
I don't know. I'd be shocked if they did. I would still think the starters would be playing to win. Like Gardner Minshew is going to come in and play and start, and he's going to try to win.
But if you saw Jalen Royals or say Brandon Stool get in for 10 to 20 snaps in that game, or let's say 15 snaps, would you be like, okay, they aren't really trying to win? This is more a project.
No, if we're sitting there saying they're not trying to see, you keep going back to keep saying they're not trying to win.
I'm saying for the coaching staff. I was saying the players. I'm saying the coaching staff. The winning is not the priority. It's more like, right, if I see Royals in for 20 snaps,
winning is always a priority in the NFL. And anytime we lose that, then we need to move on from somebody who doesn't want to do it the right way. Winning is always a priority. And so, but you got to believe that you're going to be able to win with those guys, not just getting reps and try to develop a guy. Sorry. You got a whole off season and stuff like that to develop a guy right now. So winning is always priority, man. It's always an indication of who you are as a coach and a GM. That's why Brian Flores wasn't about that. He wasn't. He said, this is my resume. This is who I'm going to be. When they talk about me and my team and all of that, it's going to come up that I tanked this season. I'm putting guys in there that we're trying to lose. No, that's not my reputation. Not going to do it. So.
Ahmed Brown, appreciate the contribution, buddy. I can guarantee the coaches are going to treat the last few games like more intense version of preseason for some game speed evaluations. Book it. Yeah, that is the comment. That's a lot of the sentiment I'm seeing from a lot of fans, obviously. But Jay, you bring up a good point too. I mean, the Brian Flores situation is an interesting one, right? Because that's front office, different view, right? I mean, and that's where, you kind of see the worlds collide a little bit. Front office may have a different view. Like, look, like we can get a better draft pick, but the coaches and the players just have a different take on it. Is that situation, is that unique that front office may have a different view on certain things as far as winning when it comes to situations like this?
Andy makes the decisions with the Chiefs. Okay. Brent Veach is the GM, but Andy's the one that makes the decision. He's running things. He's running things. That's what he's doing. Okay. So Andy's decision about what he wants to do, he's going to, get with those guys and figure out what to be done, but he's making the ultimate decision. So, I mean, it could be, you could say that for some game speed evaluations, you could see that. We can see those things out in practice. We could put them out in the game. Tennessee might be a game to do it, but like I said, if you're up 2 touchdowns or something like that, sure. But like I said, for team morale, I don't think people quite understand this ain't preseason. Guys don't get paid for preseason like that. So,
and also a lot of carryover because you do have a lot of young guys who are on the team who will be there next year, and you don't want them to see the last 3 games of the season. Oh, like we didn't really put our best foot forward to try to win these games too. So that's also another thing as well.
For sure. I know somebody's going to catch it.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see starting this weekend. I know I mentioned the injury report for this game. Obviously, it's a Wednesday, so there's still time, but this is what the injury report is as of right now. A lot of guys on the DNPs as far as Wednesday: Leo Chanel, McDuffie, Jalen Moore, Rashee Rice, Juwan Taylor, Tyquan Thornton, and Chris Jones was limited as well. But yeah, a lot of guys on the DNPs today. So only Wednesday.
So looking at this right here, right? All the guys on Wednesday did not practice, okay, or did not participate, however you want to look at it. Jake Brinkerstool, you can bring him in. Marquise Brown, right? Hollywood Brown is probably going to play. Cook's going to play. Edwards is probably going to play if he's good. Christian Fulton may play. If full practice, why not? Get him in there, right? You paid a whole lot of money, put him in. Same thing, Noah Gray. I don't know about Najee, how it's going to look. Chris Jones is definitely going to play. So, I mean, I think most of these guys are going to play, man. The ones that did not participate in practices are the guys that, is questionable. So we'll see.
Yeah. It's definitely a mash unit for sure, DJ Jazzy.
Well, Rashee Rice, right? Concussion. See, that's what I'm talking about. I knew Rashee Rice was off. So you might see, Jalen Royals for sure. You'll definitely see him this week. But that makes sense.
Yeah, Tyquan and Rashee Rice on concussion. So we probably will see Royals this week. We should see Royals this week.
Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely a mash unit for sure. But yeah, that injury report right there, Jetty, is the reason why the tanking became a bigger talking point today online in the Twitter world, in the Twitterverse.
Yeah, man. Look, let me say this, okay? Draft is good, okay, for guys. The draft is not end-all, be-all. And it's not. Veach has done a good job drafting guys later on in rounds that have come in and played, have given us something. He's done very good finding corners that, have shown up, like Jalen Watson and those guys in later rounds. I think it's where Veach probably does his best work, is finding those diamonds in the rough.
Yep.
First rounders that you get in mid round is going to be a guy that's going to be able to come in. You still have to evaluate and get the right guys in here. Part of our problem is some of the free agencies that we got or didn't get in is another issue that we probably wasn't as successful. And I said this in the Twitter space is there's things that we got somewhat worse at. Okay. So I'll say this. This is where I wanted to drop part of the conversation. So I was speaking about the offensive line. Okay. Jay Gruden went in, and I'm going to show this to you. I don't know if everybody's seen this, but I think everybody should see this about what he said. And I said, man, this is spot on. But it took a coach to say these things because he was absolutely right in practically everything that he said. That's what the thing was, when he was saying it. I'll send it to you. And when I heard him speak, this is from a coach's evaluation. And I'm like, this is how you see the field. It's not off an emotional thing as far as being brought in as a fan. This is a coach, a head coach, a guy who's played a lot of football, come from a football family that understands offenses better than anybody, been part of the West Coast offense, but also, too, an evaluation in the process of getting guys in. And he did a tremendous job breaking it down. And he was just truthful.
Where did you send it?
I'm sending it to you now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But I was talking about there was things like on the offensive line we got to be truthful about. There were some things that we had to address maybe from a wide receiver standpoint, scheme-wise, running backs, even our tight ends as far as they played. Defensively, same thing, D-line, okay? Sometimes corners, linebackers. special teams. There's a lot of evaluations on there, Marcus, that we had to go through, right? And go through with a fine-tooth comb and talk about some of these things, the realities of it. And I think with our evaluation in free agency and then going into the trade deadline, there was a little bit of arrogance there. Like, hey, man, we've gotten away with this so far. We don't really need any more guys here. We had our nucleus guys here. That's going to be all right. And then we'll get, support pieces around and we'll be fine. And so what ends up happening is some of our evaluation, we did have blind spots because we didn't address certain issues to get better. And so one of the things I said is, man, we got rid of probably the best left guard in the league, Joe Thuney. We did. You see now all of a sudden the running game, you got Eric Bieniemy and Joe Thuney up there with the Chicago Bears, and them suckers is on fire. Okay? Bless you, my brother. But Joe Thuney is somebody that was so valuable to us, but because of the contract, we had to pay Trey and all these other people that we felt like was getting rid of him. Somebody said, well, he's 33. He's still playing at a high level. Joe Thuney is, it don't matter how, certain guys just, Father Time doesn't really matter to certain guys. Okay? He's 33. Well, look at Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce's at 86 years old. Okay? He's still killing folks out there, right? It's funny, but I'm just saying he's still playing at a high level. He's the second leading tight end in the league. And so, regardless of his age, he's still doing guys in. That's what's happening. He's still out there killing them. Oh, well, he's too slow, this and that. He still is successful. He's still productive. And so the thing is, man, we got it. There's more things that we have to address. And it all can't just be addressed in the draft. It has to be free agency. We got to make sure that we deal with that truthfully and honestly. So,
no, I definitely agree with you.
Is this it?
This is it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen to Jay. Jay breaks this thing down.
Really, offensively, their running game doesn't help Patrick at all. Their offensive line's been very below average. They've had a lot of drops this year, uncharacteristic drops by the receivers, and Travis has had a few drops. Patrick has had to do it all on his own on offense. And defensively, they've taken a step back too. So when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs in the past, you're relying on Patrick will bail us out and make a play late. Yep. It just hasn't happened. He hasn't made the plays. And he's ad-libbing way more than he ever has. Receivers aren't getting open off the line. Their running game is awful. They're in 3rd down and 8, 3rd down and 9 a lot. They're playing from behind a lot more than they ever have been. And they haven't really addressed the offensive line. They tried to draft a left tackle. He missed some time. They lost their left guard to Chicago. So their offensive line has never really been addressed. I mean, they got to really go back and look at their personnel and say, hey, I know we don't have a lot or $40 million over the cap, whatever it might be. Yep. We got to restructure Patrick. We got to get some help for him on offense somewhere. We got to get a tackle. We got to get a bat. We got to figure out and identify the needs on offense. Maybe another tight end or another weapon for him. And then defensively, they got to continue to add some things. Right now, as a team, you take away Patrick, this is not a very good team, really. It's a below-average football team. Patrick puts them over the top, makes them competitive. It's been a great dynasty, but in order for them to get back to championship level, they got to get some pieces around them, especially coming off an ACL injury, which he will be. They got to do a better job of protecting them. And right now, it's not many quarterbacks could function in that style of offense without the pass protection needed, because Andy Reid's an old-school drop-back West Coast type guy, relies on concepts, shallow crosses, hanks, and flanker drives and all that stuff, and it takes time to read the defense. And if you don't have any protection, I mean, it's tough for a quarterback to have success there. Fortunately, Patrick has always been athletic and mobile and avoids the rush, but this year it hasn't been quite the same. And I don't know where they go, man. They got to have a good drafts. Haven't had very good drafts lately, but they have good drafts. Prioritize key free agents to really help out their football team next year. But yeah, they're going to be in trouble because the Chargers are up and coming. The Broncos are there right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't foresee them winning a division for quite.
I mean, but JD, I'm curious though, because you say we really need to look, from within, but and be honest with ourselves. Left tackle Josh Simmons looked great. I know he missed some time this year. We're paying our center top dollar, and he's been one of the best centers in the league. And we're paying our right guard top dollar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did he play up to that contract this year? Maybe he started to right towards the before he got hurt. So are you saying, and I know Jawad Taylor's probably gone, we're going to say about $23 million once he's gone next year. You have Jalen Moore waiting in the wings, potentially if it wanted to move to be the starting right tackle. But are you saying that means left guard and right tackle are problematic, and that's something where they need to upgrade in the offseason? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is this. At the very beginning of the season, we had two young guys, inexperienced guys coming out there to play, okay? And we talked about this during preseason that King Suma didn't look like the part. He didn't, and he was struggling. Now, every single week, King Suma has gotten better. He has, okay? Josh Simmons was playing great until he went on his hiatus, okay? At the beginning of the season, I didn't see that Creed, Trey, and Juwan on the right side and then the center were playing up to the top of their ability, all right? And then all of a sudden, Trey came on to where he should have been playing an A game later on, right? He was humming until he got hurt. And so Juwan Taylor was week in and week out grading low on run blocking. Okay, on pass blocking, but he graded real low on the run blocking. Creed at times would do okay, but I think he get graded higher than, because he gets a little help at center. And there was times he was getting handled inside. So it was like week in and week out, we weren't just playing as a cohesive unit, being great A grades each week in and week out. You see me, I grade the offense. I grade every group every single week. And so that's part of the reason our run game didn't look as great as it did, because part of the time we didn't open up the holes. And I'm going to say this, the tight ends were part of that too. Trav was doing a great job blocking. Noah Gray, I don't know what happened with Noah, but Noah wasn't really opening up the holes like he usually does, okay? And that's what kind of disappointment. I love Noah Gray, love him. I love our tight end room. Now, what I will do, I have a little bias toward our guys, the tight ends, just like I know Mitch Schwartz has his bias towards offensive linemen, and we give him a little bit more grace than we do other people, all right? I seen Mitch Schwartz break a guy down talking about zone and saying it was part of the coaching. And yeah, so somebody has to be on the same page. Junction points, how things look. Like, we got to be honest how guys actually look and how these things, like when you talk about technique, the fundamentals, how this play is supposed to transpire and how it's supposed to work. And maybe it wasn't as clean as it should have been. And so Patrick was getting hit more. He's gotten hit more this year than he has before. Well, why is that? The offensive line wasn't as great. Like Jay Groove said, we were below average. And I agree with him. I agree with that. So just like tight end by, yeah, a little bit, maybe. But also, too, I can be truthful. Same thing. I don't want to kill guys on these things, but I recognize, like, hey, man, not doing a good job. We're asking our tight ends to lead up inside to block that linebacker, and we get thrown out of the club. That's no good for us. It's no good. There's certain plays we're not going to be able to run. Also, too, scheme-wise, I said, when we go West Coast offense, and every single team, most teams run a variation of it because that's part of the coaching tree, right? You get into that. What part of the West Coast offense, you adopt some of that, you take and you put into, part of your kitty. And then you say, I'm going to pull this out. When I see McVay, I see, Seahawks and all these different guys, these guys learn from these different styles of offenses that you implement. Every team does this. Now, there's things that we hadn't did, Marcus, this year. We didn't run that many jet sweeps. We didn't run that many jet sweeps this year, right? Hadn't run that many tight end screens like we used to. Hadn't really thrown the ball to 13 personnel or 12 personnel like we used to. So there was things we were just doing differently. You know why, Marcus? Because when we came into this season, we looked at our roster and we sat there, we said speed, 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 speed. The wide receiver group, okay? And we should have done that. That should have been what our offense should have been. We want to throw it deep. We want to throw it deep often. When we're sitting there saying we got one-on-one with Xavier Worthy, one of the fastest guys in the league, if not the fastest guy in the league, in the 40. The Tyquan Thornton's right there with him, okay? Hollywood Brown's another guy. Rasheed Rice is coming back from his suspension. We're thinking we're throwing the ball down the field. We're stretching defenses. Regardless of what they give us, we're going to try you. And we did that. We tried that. And so probably to our detriment, because that's what we implemented during the off season. And so I told you, when you do things, you start doing all season based off the personnel that you have. All right. That's the scheme you run. That's why you draft guys in certain areas, because that's what you want. We got a type. We kept saying that. We got a type here. We do have a type. We said a year in, a year out. We want guys that's 5'10", maybe 5'11", standing on the phone book, and that can get open, okay, move around, right? Because we had it with Tyreek Hill and all these other guys. That was our type. We didn't go for the big body receivers. That's why we kept wondering, why is Justin Ross not getting play time? Why are these other guys, the big receivers, not getting play time? Why are we not doing back shoulder throws and we throwing in the end zone fades to these guys? Because that's not what our offense does. We didn't put that into what we wanted to do this offseason. Well, so we did is we banked on the deep ball. We banked on the fast guys getting open. And that's okay. I had no problem with that. But also, too, there's things that we got away from the concept of West Coast offense. And that's running the running game. That's the running game. So the big guys up front that do a much better job in blocking, okay, we put them back on their heels because they pass the ball a lot. That's what we're asking y'all to do. We're going to pass this year more than we passed before. Why? Because we got speed on the outside that can beat anybody deep. We got speed to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers and let them fly and let them get busy. So that's what we wanted to do. So sometimes trying to make that transition, saying, okay, we're going to go back to 12 and 13 personnel and do things a little bit different. No. That's not what we agreed on. Then we might take 2 or 3 different plays and put it in, this week and change it up. But mostly what our offense is going to be is we're going to rely on our wide receivers winning the game for us. And Patrick Mahomes throwing it out the stadium. But that's why we were throwing the ball. We were missing deep balls. How many deep balls we missed this year? Several.
Last 2 years has been a lot.
Oh, my gosh. Right.
Yeah.
That was what we was doing. That was our game. And we was going to go down, with the ship with that. That's what we were going to do. So now, talking about guys, oh, my goodness, can't get open and man. Well, that's not necessarily true. Our guys are getting open on man. There was times that Pat was just missing guys because he wanted it all. We weren't taking the checks downs like we should have because we wanted it all. And so when it's drilled in your head that this is who you want to be as an offense, this is how it's supposed to look, then guess what? That's the way it is going to look for us. But there's a lot.
But my question is, what Jay Gruden says it's a common take I've heard from a lot of the national guys. Adam Schefter said the same thing. They need to look at their offensive line in the offseason. But like, what do they need to look at? I mean, JD, because we have left tackle of the future in Josh Simmons. You have left guard, which I think Kingsley's gotten better at left guard this season.
Yes.
Center's locked in, right guard's locked in. Then right tackle. Juwan Taylor. He had his ups and downs this year, but he wasn't the entirety of the reason why the offensive line looked bad. Yes, we're going to have times we're going to have a new right tackle, be it Jalen Moore or somebody else they get in, be it draft or free agency, or he might be on the roster right now. But when people, because I've heard this a lot, people keep saying they need to look at the offensive line. Is that just they need to be taught? Is it from a coaching component?
Offensive line has to do better than what they did this past year. Okay, Trey's going to come back healthy. He's going to be a much better player. Reid is, looking like, one of the best centers in the league. King Suma has gotten better, but when he comes in, he's got to be full ready to go, playing starting ball in the NFL. That's what he has to look like. This past game, I've seen guys getting around him 2 or 3 times. I'm just like, what the hell? Excuse me. What the heck is that? I know my girls up there. Sorry, girls. Well, probably watching this. But what the heck is that? Getting beat. Just like going around him. He's like, missing a guy. We had that with obviously Caliendo and guys like that. It has to look better than what it did, Marcus. That's the truth. Same thing with our tight ends. Has to look better in blocking it. It can't be Travis, the 36-year-old that's making the blocks. It can't be him. It's got to be all the other guys back here who's not getting the ball. When you come in, you got to be that guy to make sure you go open up that hole for a running back. You got to be to make sure you be the guy that they can rely on. So when we talk about offensively, these guys, same thing. Juwan Taylor, we know has to be better than that. And he probably will be gone. But because of his penalties and things, God love him. because of the penalties, things like that, put us in a predicament. When Gruden was sitting there saying we had too many third and longs, we were this year. We didn't capitalize. But that was on both sides of the ball. Got to do a much better job on third and heck, we had to probably be the worst team on third and over 12 and 10. We had to be.
I think we're bottom 3 in the league.
I had to say, it had to be that. Because we was giving it up like it was like 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2. And I'm sitting there like, how does this happen? You know, so those are things like that need to be addressed, Marcus. I mean, let's just be honest here. Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, but it's a litany of things that we have out there that needs to be addressed. So yeah, King Suma has to come in and play top-notch ball. Josh Simmons has to go back to looking great like he was, right? Wrist hurt, fine. He's gonna be fine. Okay. I think we got the guys in the room to get that done, but guys got to come in knowing when you come in, you got to execute. And we got to get those guys ready, coaching them up to be ready for that. So then what does that mean? It means in training camp, you got to run the daggone football. You want to be a tough team running the ball? Practice it. Practice running the football, being tough. You know, you only got limited reps. Make sure some of those reps is going to be dedicated to running the daggone football and being tough about it. So that all those things, it would happen. 1 week it'd be one thing, another week it'd be something else. And then another week it'd be like the same old problem. And that's what we were seeing. So yeah, some of the blind spot we didn't see because we thought we were going to be good, and we did get better. There's guys that got better on the offensive line. We did. But we weren't cohesive at the very beginning at all. Not at all. I don't think, let me go through about grades. Let me see, shoot. My grades, my offensive line. So, top grade offensive line is, I graded all year, all season. Is a B. At 2 B's and everything, and 2 B minuses, and everything else was below that. C, C minus, C plus, you know, C plus, C. That's what I was grading. So there was times it was great. It was better than
which is scary because 4 of those 5 guys that people keep talking about, the Chiefs need O-line change. 4 of those 5 guys are going to be starting next year. The only one that's gone is Juwan Taylor. So, like, I mean, is Juwan Taylor, was he the reason for those C's and B? No, I mean, it was a collection of everything, but like, it's not going to be some overhaul at the offensive line. I think the overhaul's already been done. Now it's just these guys need to get better. That's is what it is, right?
Get better. And so when we start next year, King Suma is going to be ready. He's got the position down. He's going to be out here ready and prepared. Josh Simmons is going to be ready and prepared. Creed and Trey, no problem with those guys. Our offensive line is the least of the worries because we're going to have somebody to right tackle who's going to be that guy. Whoever it is, he needs to be ready too. So, but that's like, you know, sometimes you just got to be truthful on some of the things that you see and evaluate, right? And so if I'm sitting over here and I'm trying to give my tight ends grace on this, I got to be truthful also. It was like, hey, man, this is not our standard. It isn't. So.
And hopefully they, because I mean these other guys and like that we're gonna have whoever the right tackle is gonna be, Jalen Moore, whoever the other person's gonna be. You got to run the ball next year. Pat's coming back from an injury. You got to run the ball next year, and hopefully they, there's a lot of great running back free agents in this class. And JD, you said it's not all about draft. They have to hit on the running back free agent this coming off season. There's a lot of good ones in this upcoming free agency class. Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Etienne, Rico Dowdle, Tyler Algier. Those are some good names. Those are some good stud guys they can go get. And as we know, the running back world, running backs don't break the bank anymore. So like that, paying a guy a 2-year, $20 million deal or 3-year, $24 million deal for a running back ain't bad for a guy like Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker. And I would love that. Because I do think a lot of these problems is, we talk about the problems in the run game. We aren't running enough, so the guys aren't getting enough practice. And we talk about the practice, the aspect of things. They're not getting a lot of practice reps with the run. You don't run enough. So next year with Mahomes is coming off the ACL, you got to run the ball, have a balance. All the things we complained about all year, it all kind of came around in the end. It was like, if you're predictable, teams aren't going to buy your play action with your 4 runs that you ran in the first half of the game.
They're not going to buy from shotgun either.
Nothing.
That's not going to work. You got to go from under center, man. So, Demetrius Spence, I'm going to address some of the things in here. So, it was written saying that the offensive line doesn't fit the scheme. Not necessarily. He's just saying those guys got to play better. And they know it. They have to. We probably have the highest paid offensive line in the league. Am I right? I'm sure somebody can look it up. I'm sure we probably top 5 for sure.
I think because we have the highest paid right guard, we have the highest paid center, and I believe we had the highest paid right tackle. So we have to. Yeah,
we had to. So with that being said, Patrick shouldn't be tested at all. That sucker's jersey should be absolutely clean.
We're number 2.
Number 2, pristine. Who's above?
Philly.
Yeah,
and Philly's all lines not looking good this year either. That's actually another team's having a pretty down year with the offensive line.
Yeah, they look good earlier, right?
Yep.
But they knew they had the core group of guys that, like, you got to pay to protect, obviously Jalen Hurts, but also to get the, let what's the name run all over the place. And he's had a subpar season because they hadn't been opening up the holes, right? It's Saquon Barkley. So, and Marcus, I said this. I said, it don't matter what running back we had in here. There was times we would just open up the holes. Seriously. And we can't think that we had a Breece Hall that came in. We weren't going to give him 25, 30 totes. That wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to happen.
I mean, Damian Pierce has yet to touch the ball at all, and he was a midseason acquisition.
Elijah Mitchell was here.
Hey, another one.
We thought Rashard Smith, and I said that, I texted you, I thought Rashard Smith was going to get a little bit more work than what he did. Yep. It's a shame that he didn't. Those home run hitters, Rashard Smith was a guy that could go hit his head on the goalpost. And we should have been watching and seeing some of that, and we didn't. We didn't. So
3 games? 3 games, the experimental run, JD.
Hey, man. Yeah. But he's played. There's a difference. He's played. And so we know, hey, man, he's a guy that could come in and run the football. Let's see what he can do. He ran great when he got, sometimes, and I forgot what game it was he got in because he was blowing somebody out. He looked pretty good. He looked good. Give some totes. Give some totes. Got to upgrade the run back. Yeah, but it don't matter if you get a good running back here. If the line ain't up, the game is won up front. It's won in the trenches. Whoever wins the line of scrimmage is going to win the game more so than anything else. That's a fact. That is a fact on both sides of football.
But when you say contributing to that is when you don't run it enough anyway. Like if you're let's say for us, right, you run 11 times in the game with your running back, like they're only getting so many of those reps too. Because like the Lions, for example, they're running it 30 times a game, 30 to 40 times a game between their 2 backs. Mm-hmm. Like, sure, there's misassignments for them as well, but like they're getting enough opportunities to go ahead and make sure they do kind of get in a rhythm. We're not even giving the offensive line enough carries from a running back standpoint to get in a rhythm to do these plays, and I think that stems from playbook, and that's why it comes around to everything. And Jay Gruden can say it's all offensive line, but it's honestly a mix of everything. It's a perfect storm of just not calling enough run and not getting good enough run blocking up front. I mean, it kind of goes together. Yeah, no, he wasn't saying it was just offensive line. He gave a whole list of what was wrong. He was just saying the O-line played subpar. Mm. He wasn't wrong about that. He was talking about the wide receivers outside. Wasn't getting them initially in man. Yeah. He said you need to bring another tight end that could come in and block. He was saying things like, hey, you got to protect Patrick because he was getting hit more than anything else. You got to upgrade the running back. So he went through a whole list of things. And I want people to go back and listen to what Jay actually said. And Jay was spot on and everything that he was talking about. I'm just like, you are absolutely right in everything you said. That's an assessment from a coach who's played a game before, who was, arena leading quarterback and whatnot. He's an offensive guru. It's him and Gruden. Yeah, it's the Gruden brothers. They know offenses. They do. Okay. And they know Andy real well. So when he's sitting over here, he's analyzing what's going on and what's not happening.
He sees it. He knows exactly what it is. He don't have no loyalty to hey, well, offensive line look great. He had no loyalty for that. He gonna call it like he sees it. And I was like, I appreciate that because he's telling the truth. A lot of people don't want to talk about our offensive line or our tight ends or our quarterback missing plays, missing throws. Yeah, well, we don't want to criticize those guys. Why not? Shoot, they're gonna be critical of themselves. Shoot, we can tell the truth. We can. We ain't gonna dog cuss them. But one thing we know is certain guys can be better. There's no harm in saying that. Shoot, I tell you what, I was never satisfied with any things I did. I know I could be better. What's the point of getting a film evaluation? You sitting there like, this week I'm good. You come in the room, I got 100 on my grade. Never. You ain't never gonna have a guy come out. Man, I graded great. I got an A+ this week. It might be funny until that daggone film shows up, exposes who you are, and who you're not. They said the eye in the sky don't lie. That's a daggone fact. Can't get away from that. Oh, well, coach, I got it in front of me. No, that's not good enough. Sure, got in front of him. But I want you destroying this guy. I want you opening up the holes. Well, I blocked him. All right. Position blocking and determining where the running back runs is not always a good thing. It isn't. And those are things like that you got to talk about. That's part of the coaching staff and saying to the player, we need more than this. Good job, but we need more. Good job, but we need before you open up the hole. Good job, but you got to get to the second level. Good job, but you got to catch the football. Good job, but you got to run a better route. Good job, but you got to be available for the quarterback. Good job, but you got to check this one down. So we can pass them on the back, but also too give them constructive criticism on how you get better. And like they said, come to the podium week in and week out. That's why the conversation is we're just trying to get better every week. People get tired of that, but they don't know what that means. They know what it means because they go through and they watch film. And they're sitting there saying, I could do something else to make my job and everybody else around here, their jobs better and easier. But what am I doing? What am I taking care of? So.
Yeah, I mean, Jay Gruden knows his offense. Actually, when I interned at NBC Washington, he was the head coach of the Washington Commanders, and Sean McVay was the offensive coordinator of that team in 2016. Great staff, too, the 2016 team.
That's why I say those guys, all of them take a little variation of the West Coast offense. That's what it is. That's what they run. And they mold it to their own self and shape certain things their way. McVay ain't doing nothing out there that like so groundbreaking. Oh, my gosh, he's offensive genius. No, he's not. Look at the routes he's running. These guys are running. You know what he's got? He's got Devontae Adams and he got Puka Nacua. Okay? Got Williams in the back, and he's got Matthew Stafford, and he's saying, we're going to let it fly. Puka Nacua is getting open, and he's a physical guy, and he's going to catch everything thrown his way. And Devontae Adams, too? Come on.
Yeah, and they've hit on a lot of their draft picks as well as their free agency guys as well. They've done a really good job over there. Les needs done a good job with that.
Yes, they have. So,
all right, so we're going to get to a final topic before we get to our fan chat, JD. Talking about some of the things that have been going on Twitter today. There's been a lot of hoopla about Travis Kelce's speculation kind of continued today a little bit about where he's going to go as far as what happens after the 3 games are done. But today, kind of Twitter went nuts when on his New Heights show, he talked about Patrick Mahomes' injury and did not say we. So I'm going to play what Travis Kelce had to say because people are kind of go nuts about it.
He's a fearless warrior when it comes to this football thing, and he's going to make sure that he comes back stronger than ever. And hopefully the Chiefs can get him back as soon as possible. I know right now it's kind of right around that week 1 or the beginning of the season next year. So I know he's going to be doing everything he can to get back out on that field for the Chiefs as soon as possible, man.
JD, when you hear the Chiefs, instead of saying they're going to have him back or we're going to have him back, because a lot of people are saying it just seems like it. And also, if you look at his post game with Derwin James it seemed like it was a final, like kind of handshake with Derwin James and a lot of battles they've had over the years. When you what do you read? Because I've seen two things, right? One, he's saying not saying we, he's saying the Chiefs, and two, he's not also people say he's not under contract next year with this organization, so he's just saying the Chiefs. He's not saying we because he's not under contract with this team next year. However, for me, it's like, well, he's been with this team for over 10 years now. He's saying we is ingrained with it, but what do you think about this whole thing?
Okay, I'm gonna give my full take on this. I have no idea what Travis Kelce is thinking or what he's gonna do. I'm not gonna look into his words to see what he feels or how he's thinking at this moment. Travis Kelce's gonna have enough time to make a decision during this off season or whatever, or after the season, what he's gonna do. I'm not gonna speculate because I have no idea. I really don't, you know. And I'm not gonna sit there. Oh, wow, he said this and shoot. Hey, Travis Kelce could walk away right now and be fine to where he is. He's done everything he needs to do as an NFL player in the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a first pick, first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going down as one of the greatest tight ends ever played the game. He set all amazing records year in and year out. If Travis Kelce decided to retire after this season, man, hey, more power to him. You had a great career. Congratulations. You've done a hell of a job. We've enjoyed every moment that you have been out here. You'll celebrate it. But if he decided to come back after thinking about it and seeing where Patrick is, then I'm on board for that too. But coming out here to speculate what he's going to do based off what he said, man, I'm be honest with you. I don't even know. I'm not even going to entertain that information, that conversation, to be honest with you. Hey, man, it's his druthers. Whatever he wants to do, man, I'm in full support of it. Full support. Just say that.
Yeah, I mean, I did think the phrasing was odd. I don't know.
Hey, man. Hey, man, listen. Hey, like I said, that man can do whatever he wants to do.
Oh, he can do whatever he wants. I was saying,
but I'm saying the phrasing and all of like looking into it, like what's the point of it? Why?
People just want to get a jump on what we're going to have to do, look for a tight end or not.
We're going to have to get for a jump on the tight end. We should have been doing that before. Anyway, should have been a jump on that to begin with.
We might have that guy in the room, number 88. He's going to get a lot of reps this week.
We'll see. We'll see. And it could be that. It could be that. But
yeah, I mean, like we said before, he said coming into the season that he didn't want to go out like that with the Super Bowl loss. This year he comes back, good shape. We don't make the playoffs. 3 weeks left in the season. It's already foregone that we're not going to the playoffs. So, and a lot of people said, this is an interesting tidbit here, but people said if he wants to talk about it with his brother. His brother came back after losing the Super Bowl. They lost to the Chiefs. Came back that next season. They lost the Buccaneers in round one of the playoffs, and then he retires. People are saying, I see some speculation here. If you ask Jason might say, "Give it one more year because if I stay one more year, I would have won a Super Bowl." Because if Jason did stay one more year, he would have been on that team that won the Super Bowl last year. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. For me, it doesn't sit right with me that his last game with Mahomes was last week. I hope he comes back for one more year. I know there's a lot of people saying they want him gone. They want a new tight end and let him enjoy his future, I guess. But
do both. Shoot, get your new tight end here and have Trav play his last hurrah.
Yeah,
like I said, I think if he came and said, "Hey, look, this is going to be my last year. This is it," and I don't know why he has to come out and say it, but maybe if he did, okay, and saying like this is when I'm going out. I'm going to do this. Okay, they're going to carry me off the field and let it be what it is. I'd love for him to play another year, at least one more year, but that's just me and my selfishness just to see a brilliant player like Travis Kelce, play one more year under the Chiefs. So no, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I do think the way he played this year, he shows that he's still a top 3, top 2 tight end in the league. So as far as falling off a cliff, he hasn't fallen off a cliff. He's an asset to us, and him leaving honestly would give us a big question mark of the tight end position, because I don't know if we're going to find someone to match what his contributions to us on and off the field. But
let me ask you, did Jason ever? Did he ever show any type of regret? Did he say anything in that regard, as far as like, man, I wish I played this past year when they won the Super Bowl?
I mean, I think he made jokes about if he stayed one more year, he would win a Super Bowl, but I don't think he ever said anything about regrets.
Yeah, no regrets, no reservation. Like, hey, man, shoot, good for him.
Yeah, for him. I think that's generally what it was for him.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're done, you're done. And no amount of, hey, how many times I got to keep doing this? Well, like Sasha says, he don't want to attach himself to the past journey. Like, hey, that's his own man, right? And so, shoot, we don't have to keep playing. Somebody showed a video with sad music.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
I think I retweeted on our Twitter account. Yeah, it was him and Mahomes. Yeah, they used the song from the end of Fast and Furious. The Fast and Furious song with Vin Diesel and Paul Walker.
Yeah. And I started laughing. I was just laughing. And I was like, wow. Ain't like Pat died. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Like, it was a great time, great run to watch this, and I enjoyed every moment of it. And nobody ever wants to see that be the last thing, right? And it would be sad to like, man, that's how it went down. Like your last game was this one.
Yeah, it wasn't a proper series finale, JD. We have to have more closure, right? It feels like it just wasn't right. So selfishly, like you said, I would love to have him back. I hope this video we showed wasn't him kind of lending us in behind the scenes as to what he's going to be doing in a couple of weeks as far as announcing retirement. But selfishly, I don't want him to go. And I don't think his play has dropped off as much as many people say it has. No, so Chris Carter this week said that it's not the same guy. Father Time is undefeated, and he's not the same guy as he was. And he's hanging up essentially. Him
not being the same guy and still being the second best tight end in the league is like, I'll take not being the same guy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the funny part. He ain't the same guy. Okay, none of us are. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. Okay, but him regressing or getting or whatever is not the same guy. It's still better than all of the tight ends except 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So I'll take it all day. Are we gonna get that production from somebody else is the question. That's always a question. Unless you got to answer for that, then, hey, man, we fine with our aging, fine like wine, Travis Kelce. Fine with him. Good with it.
Have you done any draft research yet, JD? I'm curious. There's a tight end that a lot of Chief fans wants to get. I'm curious if you've done any kind of.
No.
Okay.
Who are they talking about? The guy from Oregon?
Yeah, Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah.
Did you see? Have you looked at any of his clips or highlights or anything?
A little bit of it.
What are your thoughts?
He's a baller. Good tight end. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's one of the a lot of Chiefs Kingdom's wish list is and I believe it's Jeremiah Love and Kenyon Sadiq are the 2 guys that people want. Jeremiah Love, running back from Notre Dame, and then Kenyon Sadiq is the.
You ain't going high in the draft for no running back. You better not. Bet not do it.
What?
Bet not do it.
And all these Chief fans, the ones that are saying draft him, they're going to be the first ones to turn their back on him. Oh, I can't believe Veach drafted running back in round 1.
Yeah,
we CH all over again.
I'm going to say, shit.
Yeah.
Bet not. Crazy.
Kenyon Sadiq is 6'2", 220. I'll pass. Is he that short? No.
I don't know. I don't know him enough to know that. So.
Yeah. Near do I. No way. He's that tiny. Not tiny, but you know what I mean. He ain't no dungeon.
Tiny is like tiny. I like it. He ain't that tiny.
he ain't no JD. 6'3", 245 is what I'm reading. 6'3", 245.
Oh shoot, that's
solid.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. Demetrius Spence, we need to go edge rusher. Yeah.
Better go show up at D-line, man. Go get you a couple of guys. Go draft you a couple left guards and right tackles. I'm playing. We got what we need on offensive line, man. They'll turn on next year.
Right tackle, yes.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Jalen Moore's only got even if he's a starting right tackle next year, one more year left in that deal. So you got to have somebody come in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so now we're going to open up the phone lines for y'all to come on in here to ask away, vent, say whatever you got to say, whatever's on your mind. Let's rock with it. And that video you were talking about, JD, I was that did kind of sadden me a little bit. But yes, you're right. That's literally the video they used when Vin Diesel saying bye to Paul Walker at the end of that Fast and the Furious.
Okay.
DJ Jazzy said that Jason Kelce pretty much in his long retirement speech, he said his body couldn't handle it anymore. And yeah.
Tell you, man, it's that. I mean, shoot, it don't matter. Your mind is willing, your body is just shoot. It's just not. Mind is willing. So, sometimes it's how it works. So we open up the airwaves, you all. We got. If you want to come on in, speak your piece. Come on through and say what you need to say. I know we got somebody out there who wants to say what's up to us.
Yeah, no Thunder Dan wants to.
Thunder Dan, come on in, brother. Come on in.
Will, Demetrio, Spence, Optimistic James, where y'all at? Where y'all at? Come on, baby. But yeah, you guys, up to you guys what you guys want to talk about. Give you guys the floor for 3 to 5 minutes. JD, this is interesting though. I'm curious. I think this weekend, I think we're going to win this weekend against the Titans. And I think it's going to be our most balanced offensive game of the season because they're not going to let Gardner Minshew drop back 50 times a game like they would with Patrick Mahomes. And I think it's going to be pretty much what we've been wanting to see for a long time.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm the Brown. I see you, baby. I see you in the chat. Come on, man.
I know folks are ready for that. Mr. Hammonds, I know you're out here too, so somebody ready to come on?
Come on, guys. We told you Monday this was happening, guys. Come on now.
So let me ask you, so what do you think about Minshew? You think he's going to be able to carry the team for us, though? These next 3 games?
Oh, I think so. I think he's shown in his career with Jacksonville, Indianapolis, not the Raiders so much, but Jacksonville and Indianapolis, and even in spot duty with Philadelphia, he looked good. And there was a time where Jacksonville fans were pretty pissed off. They even drafted Trevor Lawrence. They liked Gardner Minshew. Now people thought he could be a starter. I mean, I think he's a backup, but I think for 3 games, I think he can do his thing. And people were talking about bringing in Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston next year. I think there's potential that Minshew looks good, and they keep him as a backup. Because this is a sample size we'll see from a backup quarterback in the Mahomes era too. So that's also another thing. Yeah. So do you think Minshew is the best backup that Pat's had this time? Now, obviously, we know. I'm talking about when they got here. Right. Do you think he's the best? Yeah, body of work wise. Okay. Body of work wise, we're looking at either him or Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz almost had an MVP season. Well, I'm gonna say not, but that's why I said now. Just when he was here, the time that he was here, like Carson Wentz at his, by the time he got here, right? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I would say Mitchell. Yeah, because Mitchell's closer to his prime of his career than all those other guys. All the other guys were elder statesmen. I mean, Wentz elder statesman-ish. Henny was an elder statesman. Gabbert was an elder statesman. Matt Moore was an elder statesman. Yeah, I would say Mitch is probably the best one. Because, I mean, Mitchell, you can make the argument, too. If Mitchell comes in the next 3 games and kind of dominates, there's potential he could take a job next year and compete for a starting job somewhere, There's always a team that kind of signs a quarterback and has a little battle, like this year with the whole J.J. McCarthy mess, right? J.J. McCarthy didn't look like up to the task. They ended up putting Wentz in there to start games for him. and they chalked it up to a mysterious injury that no one saw, and they said they put Wentz in there because they weren't ready for McCarthy. So, yeah, Mitchell can put his name out there. He's still young enough to get a job again. Yeah, but like I said, I think Minshew has a chance to show he can be the backup for Mahomes. Oh, and let me ask you this, JD. The report that Rick Burkholder, that was your old your OG trainer back in the day.
Yeah.
He said today that Mahomes, it could be, because right now they're saying a 9-month to get back to play. He said it could be a month earlier or 2 months earlier, or a month later or 2 months later. So they're pretty much giving a 7 to 11 month window for Mahomes, and he's already begun rehab. Where do you think he lies on that? Do you think he's close to the 7-month marker, or do you think he's close to the 11th month marker?
I mean, I think he's a fast healer. I think he's right there in between. I think he'll probably be about month number 9. He'll be ready. So
you think he's ready week 1?
Yeah, I do. So, we'll get updates on it. Like I said, if it's not there's no setbacks, no major setbacks, and his rehab, his healing process, then I do believe he'll be back week 1 with a brace on, but he's not going to be taking out running, and there's no reason he needs to. That's what I was sitting there saying. That's why Jake Gruden was sitting there saying, like, if we were subpar on our offensive line, we got to be that much better coming into the season ready, knowing Pat can't get touched at all. And so I think what our development, what it's been on the left side is going to be okay. We'll be straight over there. And on the right side, we just had to figure out who the right tackle is going to be. So,
yeah, that'll be the question.
On the Brown, I'm going to start calling you bedclothes.
Alex Smith for one game. Yeah, the one game where we sat the starters and Mahomes was got a start of that Denver game. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, looks like no one's jumping on tonight for the fans. Come on, you guys disappointed me, man. Y'all disappointed me tonight.
It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. I think we got everything out there, man, what we needed to address. So it was necessary to talk about those things that I think we need to talk about. We didn't really talk the whole much about the defensive side of the ball, but like I said, I keep saying this is known for a fact, but you win the game in the trenches, and everybody else around has to do their job to be great. Talib had a good what's the name of too. Let me show that. I think I got him down as well.
We'll talk about our DBs or just
in general, yeah. Just talking about the defense. And Talib was he was riding with us all season. I was like, okay, Talib, shoot. Let's see.
Yeah, guys, we'll be back on Friday night for our normal Keys of Victory and betting show. Like I said, it's gonna be different for us towards the end of the season. I'm curious how JD your Keys of Victory change when playoffs are not the end goal. I'm curious how your Keys of Victory changed there, buddy.
Shoot, it's all about winning, baby. The speech never changed. Shoot, it never changed when I was the coach. It's about this game. It's about this game, and when we go out there, what we do. That's the keys to victory of the game, and that's the way it's got to be. So, yeah, you can't be like, well, we screwed. We ain't gonna make the playoffs anymore. So, hey guys, give it y'all. We're gonna be okay. No more game speeches.
Oh well. See you next year.
Yeah. Have a good vacation.
You got a question here from JV DI8CY. Do you guys know anything about the DT they just activated? So yeah, that was Zach Pickens. I mentioned him earlier. I believe he was a 3rd round pick by the Bears. I think he went to South Carolina. Big physical DT, like 6'4", like 300. 3rd round picks. I mean, he obviously has talent. But yeah, I think what year was that? Let me see. 2023 was when he got drafted in the 3rd round by the Bears.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, still relatively young. Career statistics as of 2024, 39 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 pass deflection. Big dude. Yeah, 6'4", 303 is what his size was. Oh, kind of right on the money there. Ooh, we do have a fan in the chat. Okay, there you go. There you go. This is good.
About time comes in, by the time we get to watch this film together, man, this little speech, okay? When he comes in. You get that, Marcus?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Let's talk about time real quick, man.
What's up, about time? About time, can you hear us, buddy?
Hearing us.
About time, can you hear us?
Ooh, I
look fine, brother. You look fine, man.
Gosh darn it.
We can hear you.
I can hear you now, buddy. No, not anymore.
There we go. Did that work?
We got
it
you.
Works.
It works, man. What's up,
Sorry,
about time? How you doing? Okay.
I had to bring my girl on and say hello.
Hey, look at her. How you doing? So, girl, what's her name? Might be cutting out on us about time.
Yeah, you cut out again. All right, well, all right, well, let me pull this up. Let me cue this up here, JD.
Okay. So, pardon the language, to leave. That sucker's you gonna let it go. He's gonna let it fly.
Earmuffs. If you're under the age of 18, earmuffs.
They're eliminated.
I think that
But you
the
said
biggest.
never doubt the Chiefs.
Yeah, I still don't.
Are you doubting them?
I think they'll be back. They'll be back sooner than coach think they'll be back. But they're just not making plays at the end of these games. I think before they was the king of the end of the games. That's why they dominated the AFC, because they dominated the last 3 minutes of the game for years. You know what I'm saying? And now, shit, it's just a lot of drop balls. It's a lot of undisciplined defense. It's a lot of missed protections, all at the end of games. And they used to have a little rabbit foot where if it was a tip ball or something, it'd go their way. This year, all the tip balls, the 50-50 balls, the fumbles, all that shit, none of that shit is going their way this year. So the icing on the cake was, boom, Patty get hurt at the end of the year. So it's just that kind of year for them. I think they definitely bounce back, though, man. It's a restructure here, a restructure there. You know, they core guys. They have restructured them core guys like Bolton, like the Eds guy. What's his name? Carliff.
Oh,
yeah.
George,
Restructured the Creed Humphreys, Trey Smith. The guys who they know going to be there, they have restructured their deals, open up some cash, restructure Patty shit, open up some cash. They cut Jawan. They got to pay him like $26 million or something. He gone. That's going to open up a bunch of cash when they cut him. They got to be about tired of him. So they going to cut him. Shit, they going to draft 10 to 14. That's going to be a starter. They got their second, third, fourth, fifth round. Shit, maybe you trade one of them fifth rounds or something, go a little bit lower, get you a Love, you know what I'm saying, answer that running back problem. I think the Chiefs always do it. They've been a good football team since Alex Smith, since I was playing.
Yeah.
So the ownership, the guys who in charge know what to do.
Yeah,
they know how to create good football teams. So I don't know if it's 2026 because Pat got hurt so late, he going to miss the offseason. I'm a big believer in you get out what you put in his offseason. He going to miss the entire offseason. 2027, he going to be back with vengeance. Broncos, we better get us 2 chips and a nice run before he come back with vengeance in this new team because the Chiefs for sure going to be back. To answer your question, Kenzie, hell no, I'm still riding with the Chiefs. I see they makeup since 2013 when I got into the AFC West, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So good praise. And honestly, the most honest, the most real about our salary cap situation. Because if you listen to any of these national pundits, like, oh, the Chiefs are a disaster right now. They're treading water in the salary cap space. I mean, he is a former player. You guys know what you're talking about when it comes to as far as the reshaping your contracts, giving more money back, all that stuff. And so like that's the most honest look so far of our salary cap situation. So I love hearing that.
Yeah. So that's, he was talking about a spot on, doing some restructuring and whatnot on contracts, getting money back. Absolutely, for sure, to get guys in. So, it's I think it's where we are. It's where we are. So,
yeah, no, and we're gonna have a full off season to talk about all this stuff and dive into all these crucial topics that you guys are. It seems like everyone's foaming at the mouth to talk about these off-season position groups that we're going to need. So I cannot wait for all these off-season shows. But that does it for us, guys. Chief Concerns presented by FanDuel. We will see you guys Friday night for JD's first ever 10 keys to victory in a non-playoff football team or non-playoff NFL team on Chief Concerns since we started the show. So it's going to be interesting to see what he has to say. And also Tasia and I, first betting show for a non-playoff Kansas City Chiefs team. So it's going to be interesting to see what we draw up and come up with for Friday night's show. But hope to see you guys Friday night. We love y'all. JD, close us out, brother.
I appreciate you all. Listen, y'all take care. Like I said, we could talk about the things that they needed to do to get better, for sure. I think they'll address it this offseason. I think Andy and those guys talked about it so far. We may see some guys get some playing time. But these guys, one thing for sure they're not going to do is they're not going to try to tank the season. It's not what they're about. Okay, they got too much pride. They put too much work and hard effort into being a good team, being good players, and they're not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not. So what you're going to get, the product-wise, is going to be a good product to come out there and win games. And they're trying to win out with Tennessee, the Broncos, and the Raiders. So we need to get our lick back with the Broncos, and those guys are going out there and going to try to do it. So we keep rallying those guys on. It's not going to change anything as far as like with my keys to victory. We're talking about victory for each and every week. So that's what it's going to be. That's what it's always going to be, especially for me. So with that being said, thank you all you guys and gals for coming out tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you giving us your time. Y'all take care. God bless. Love each other the way you're supposed to love each other. And with that, hey, we're going to be all right with those things. So, Marcus, my brother, love you. Love you guys and gals out there in the Chief Concerns family. We will see you all on Friday with the betting show. Talk about keys to victory. We are still in this thing. We are going to keep going at this thing. We ride and die to the very ends. That's what it's going to be. So, love you guys. Y'all take care. God bless. We'll see y'all later.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.